About a year before actually moving back home, anywhere I was going, work, anywhere I was a regular, the gym, anywhere, I would just tell people, like, oh, I'm going back home soon. 12-month countdown, 6-month countdown, 3-month countdown, 4-week countdown. There was a countdown, and it came up in combo pretty damn often. And this one time I was going to the gym that I'm a regular at, and the guy working as the receptionist there was like, oh, everybody is moving there to Canada. I don't know what accent that was, but I was trying to make a Filipino accent. Anyway, so I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, everyone I know, everybody's going to Canada from here. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And I was working at a hair salon up until our second lockdown, where I had to resign. And yeah, there was a client that would come to me, and she was coming back to me for sure because we have the Dubai connection. And yeah, she lived in Dubai for about 10 years. And yeah, we just got talking about like how different Canada is to Dubai. And me coming back home, I seriously have like a new set of eyes. I swear, the way I see things is so different from how I remembered Canada when I was in Dubai, telling the whole world like how great it is, how much I miss it, and that it's just, there's no other place like home, which is Canada. Yeah, so I got talking with this girl about the differences and how, we'll get to that later. And then one time also, we were at the superstore, my husband and I, just grocery shopping, and I saw some guy wearing Emirates merchandise. Like, I mean, everyone has the soccer jersey that says fly Emirates, fly better, hello tomorrow, all that shit. But this guy was wearing like stuff you can only buy in Dubai. It was like souvenir kind of style. I just realized I might have had chocolate on my teeth. Oops. Anyway, so I was like in the vegan section of the store, and he was out in the meat department, and I noticed him wearing this like brown, it looked like our male cabin crew pajama. So I was like, what the hell? And I like ran across the grocery store to get to him, and I was like, did you work for Emirates? And he's like, no, I lived in Dubai for God knows how long now. And then we got talking again, like how different Canada is from Dubai and all this. So anyway, and I met an activist in the pig vigil that I attended, or at the pig vigil that I attended. And yeah, he was a Dubai resident for a very long time. And yeah, he actually just sent me a photo today saying like, hello from Dubai. So he managed to go over there during the lockdown to be with his family out in Dubai. It's really cool to meet people from Dubai now, like 1 year after being back in Canada, and just talking about it. And like, not even cabin crew is like a whole other category. I am so happy I'm still connected to people who are currently out there. They're like filling me in on, you know, how it is to fly during COVID, and yeah, just how Dubai is changing, Emirates, all that. So that's cool. But then it's cool to meet people outside of the cabin crew life, and yeah, it's just not that different, their opinions about Dubai and all that. So anyways, I figured meeting and encountering all these people and having these conversations and incidences, I should make a video on the differences between Canada versus Dubai. So if you're one of those many people who are moving to Canada, maybe this will help you. I mean, this is just like, I'm gonna make it more so things that I miss in Dubai, rather than like these huge differences. Like, Canada's the polar opposite of Dubai, which it's like the extreme cold. I don't know what I'm saying. I just don't understand how some things leave my mouth. Like, I swear I might have had a stroke at one point in my life, but basically, yeah, like Canada's the extreme opposite. So as hot as it is in Dubai, Canada is like freezing cold. I'm not gonna get into that. That's like obvious. You can Google that. But yeah, I'll relate it to me and what I miss about Dubai. So let's get started. The very first thing I miss is speed bumps. Literally, Dubai is just speed bumps after speed bumps. Whereas here in Canada, it's stop signs after stop signs. Like, you accelerate and then you gotta stop. And if there's not a stop sign, there's a freaking red traffic light that you have to stop at. There's no point in speeding. There's no point in trying to get around people to get there faster. A lot of the time, assholes do this to me, and I just come up and creep up to them eventually, being this little grandma speed limit driver that I am, taking my time and not rushing through life, and I just wave at them from my seat. Sometimes I'll be as much of an asshole as they were and honk and be like, or sometimes I'll take the opportunity and pull up next to them and be like, so yeah, there's just no point in speeding in Canada, and that's the thing, like, everyone is more of a chill driver compared to the Dubai driving, but mostly the big difference is the amount of traffic lights we have and stop signs. It's just, it causes more chaos, more, angry driving, speeding, all that, chaos. Whereas in Dubai, people respect the speed bump. It's gonna fuck up their car, so, and their company bus, the Emirates bus, so they literally slow down and go over these bumps. They don't have to stop, they just slow down. It makes way more sense. Canada, you did it wrong. We're getting more roundabouts, but people don't know how to use those, so that's even more chaos. So yes, I wish we had more speed bumps rather than traffic lights and a stop sign on every freaking intersection. And I mean, like, 5 feet. Every 5 feet, we have a freaking stop sign. What the hell, Canada? In Dubai, it was very easy to get around. Like, I didn't have a car for the 3 years that I was there. And yeah, you just need the metro line or an Uber, taxis. I already talked about that. But yeah, it was so easy to get around. And with that, I found myself way more active. I had to walk everywhere. With groceries, I had to, like, mission across, you know, Dubai to get them home, or IKEA, all those things. I had to bring them home, like, via the metro. Actually, Festival City didn't have a metro very close by, so you would have to take a cab or an Uber, which is what I did. But anyways, you had to struggle, like, go inside the mall, because everything was, like, the access to everything was always within a mall. You couldn't necessarily just, you know, get off from the street to, like, enter the store. You always had to get into a mall. So you're, like, missioning through a mall to get to this IKEA. Anyways, you had to walk everywhere. If you didn't have a car, you had such an active, high cardio kind of lifestyle. So I miss that. Just, like, effortless cardio. Whereas here in Canada, I have to make the effort and an excuse to get my cardio in, to make my steps, to walk. And we don't really have that opportunity unless it's your day off, like today. So, like, I will park my car at the end of the parking lot to go grocery shopping, so I walk across the whole parking lot to get into the grocery store. Like, I'm trying to figure out ways where I can actually walk and not just get in my car and sit and drive. So, and then there's a lot of the opposite where people want to be, like, abusing invalide. I don't know how to say it in English. The invalide. I swear, I don't know my English. You know, for the anyone who's injured, those people, they have the priority to park right in front of the store, or the moms expecting, or moms with kids, they have the parking spots right out front of the store, and a lot of people abuse that and just full on like walk and stroll without kids and any injuries, and young as they can be, just to park nice and close to the store. It's like, you're not doing yourself a favor. These shortcuts in life, they're not very smart. Like, work smart, but these shortcuts won't do you good. You're just gonna keep getting fat. So anyway, I miss the like mindless opportunity to just move. I miss how clean Dubai was. Like, you can drop a bobby pin and before it even hits the ground, it's being swept away. It's being caught and thrown out. Like, it was so clean in Dubai. So clean. The touristy areas. The ones that are, you know, kind of out of the eyesight, not so much. But if you look at the touristy spots, they're freaking clean. Unlike here in Canada, it's pretty polluted. It's bad. Like, I'll be driving down a country road and the ditches are filled with furniture. Like, it says $5,000 fine for dumping. People do it anyway. So I miss how clean Dubai was. The bathrooms in Dubai were so clean. And I was talking about this with my client. I was like, before, like, you're washing your hands, you drop like a little bit of soap out of your hands and the lady's there to just like vroom, sweep it underneath you, and you're like, oh wow, it's impressive, it's so clean and it smells so good, and there's never a toilet that's clogged with toilet paper. Like, it just doesn't happen. And a lot of the time I would see women about to walk into the bathroom and I don't touch anything with my hands in the toilet. Like, I'd flush with my foot. I lock the door with toilet paper, so when I'm leaving, I'll flush with my foot, take some toilet paper and unlock my stall and throw that little, you know, the little toilet paper piece into the toilet and then go on my way and wash my hands. And one time a woman was coming in after me and she went like to the restroom cleaning lady. Like, that got me fuming. I'm like, A, you don't treat another human like that. She's not your servant. Don't get me started. B, it's just a little toilet paper piece. But that's how clean it was. I miss that. Bidets. I've only ever used a bidet once, but they're a very smart idea. Like, in Dubai, all the bathrooms, all the places I've lived, they had a bidet. I have a traumatic, horrific story and experience with one at a gas station in Dubai. Oh my god. I will not share that story, but it's the night that I rescued my monkey. And it was the first time I actually used one because I thought it was disgusting to use a public one where people, like I told you, I don't touch anything in a bathroom. I hover over toilets. I can't imagine touching something and squeezing something that someone else has touched. It's just so gross. But anyways, bidets are a good investment. I'm gonna have one in my future home. And yeah, it just saves me money. And I'm not gonna be throwing crap down the toilet. Well, crap, but toilet paper. I'll be saving money on that and the environment from toilet paper with the bidet. So I've discussed speed bumps. I miss those. The cleanliness of the city. Bidets. The very active lifestyle of living in Dubai. Number 5, I think this is a huge one. I miss the fact that if I were to forget my wallet with like $1 million anywhere in Dubai, and I would go there like a week later, it would still be there. You have no idea how many times I've left my cell phone places. I left it in a cab, an Uber, and I got them back every time. There was panic, because every time you're like, holy, how could I do this? You don't know, maybe it was a tourist this time that went into the cab, and you know, they don't have the same mentality as the people in Dubai, everyone's afraid to like take something that's not theirs, because stealing means you get your hand cut off. So yeah, you get in this panic mode, but it's nonsense because you get it back every time. So yeah, that's a really big one. Number 5, the fact that I felt safe. No one would steal anything from me. I can walk with like my hand holding $1 million a stack, and no one would steal it from me. That's a big one. I was lucky though. One time I was here on a layover with Michael. Layover. No, Mike was here on the layover, and I wanted to get back onto the flight with him or something like that. We were both in Toronto, and we had to go back to the crew hotel, and I really can't remember. Wow, I can't remember how we both ended up in Canada and had to go to this hotel to make it back to Dubai. But anyway, I left my wallet in an cab in Toronto, and I was like, fudge, like in Dubai, I always had like, the reassurance it's Dubai, but in Toronto, you're screwed. You guys in Canada know. But I was so lucky. This cab driver, he always has a habit to just turn around and check what's left in his cab. So he kept it for me, and I got it back. I was so happy. But that shit doesn't happen in Toronto. Like, forget it. You left it, it's gone. Like, your umbrella is gone. Like, even an umbrella can get stolen. So, yeah. In Dubai, this is what I miss. The fact that you lose it, you forget it, you'll find it, you'll get it back. No problem. This one's gonna be weird. Number 6. A lot of people will be like, okay. But I miss not having to tip. In Dubai, was told, like, on the flight there by the residents, like, I was seated next to this guy, and he just talked my ear off the whole entire flight, and, like, prepared me for everything Dubai related. And I asked him, like, oh, how does the tipping work? Because, like, you go on vacations to, like, Mexico, everywhere, and you want to know the etiquette. And he was like, no, you don't tip at all. So that's what I miss, not having to worry about tipping. I mean, if I ordered something from the Zoom below my building and he brought it up to my room, like on a hot day, bringing, cases of water, which I didn't want to do, I didn't have it in my heart not to tip, so I had to. But it was so weird to see roommates not doing that shit. I was just like, dude, you just like did your work. And he works at a grocery store, and he's probably getting paid nothing. At least tip him. Maybe that's my North American culture, but yeah, it's just people don't tip in Dubai. And I kind of miss that. Here in Canada, you will order takeout, and you're expected to tip. Anyway, that's going to open up a big can of worms. For sure. Number 7. Dreamy number 7. I saved this one for number 7. I miss the views from any balcony in Dubai. Any balcony. I mean, my accommodation, the view, the first one was just the desert, which was cool. The second, the accommodation was the hotel in Mohesna 4, Dunes Hotel. And my second view was in Garhoud. It was like a whole crew neighborhood. It faced like a pool, but at night you can like see the ripples in your room, and yeah, it was just beautiful. Like, it was just a pool, but it was beautiful. It was cool to like see a pool outside of your accommodation. I had a balcony too. Yeah, it was nice. And then my third view was a graveyard. So this graveyard was once a graveyard, and now it's just like a sand pit with like walls and gate and trees around it. And I don't think they're allowed to have graveyards in Dubai at this point, so nobody calls it a graveyard, but it was a graveyard. So my window faced a graveyard, and I had no idea until after I was about to move that it was a graveyard. But that's not the pretty part. The pretty part were the trees around it. Like, you don't see many trees in Dubai. You see palm trees, but everything else is like not so green. So I was lucky to be in like a greenish area. It was next to Irish Village, so it's pretty damn green there. I think that's where they got the name. But yeah, I had a tree right behind my window, and there was always like a cat. This is before I had cats. Just chilling, sleeping on this tree. Birds, pigeons, like everything was on these, on this tree. Obviously birds. But yeah, I just always saw this cat, and like I made friends with it. I was always like, oh, there you are, you know. So those were my views. And then when I went to go visit people, like I was dating this one guy. His accommodation was the Hyatt, and yeah, it was just like one part was the Gulf, the sea, and then the sunset was just so beautiful. Like I literally just stared out that window the whole time I was there, because it was just beautiful from the moment I got there to the moment I left. Such a nice view. Then I would go to people's places like in the city, and you had like the beautiful Sheikh Side Road that was stunning. Then you had one place was right in front of the Burj Khalifa, so like it sparkles all night. It glistens, the lights and all that. I should do it this way. So yeah, their living room space just faced a part of it, and it was just constantly sparkling, and it was just so beautiful. Like anywhere you would go, you would have a beautiful view. My very last accommodation faced the airport, but from afar. You couldn't even hear these planes. Like, it was just like very high up, this building, and there weren't any buildings in the way. So looking out one of my windows, I had two. So one facing the airport, and there was like a pool from the other building, so I would see families like chilling all day in this pool. I'm like, don't you fucking work ever? Anyway, they were there. It was the same family every goddamn day. And then from afar, you would see planes taking off and landing. Like, I had a full view of the runway. It was just my favorite. I loved it. It was so cool to see these planes going up and down. And then even me, when I was going to work, I'm like, oh, I see my building, because I knew exactly where to look. It was just so cool. And then my other window, so like when I walked into my bedroom, to the left was this huge window. Yeah, the windows were huge in Dubai. It was from like ceiling to floor. Kind of made you like not want to be near it, because it's like, what if it falls? Like, whew. Anyway, yeah, the left window faced the airport, beautiful. And then when you walk into my room, you had a window to the left facing the airport, and when you walk in straight, you had a window straight on, and it just faced another building, so that kind of sucked. But I had two freaking like ceiling to floor windows. And anyways, moral of all my jibber jabber there is the fact that anywhere I would stay, anywhere I visit, all my friends, everybody had such a stunning, beautiful view of Dubai. And whatever their window caught, there's just so many beautiful things to see outside their windows. Doesn't really compare to what you get to see here in Canada. Like, from your own yard, sure, you have beautiful nature, but if you're in Toronto, you're not really seeing much. Like, everything is just like boring. Oh, there's the CN Tower. But in Dubai, literally the night, the morning, the sunset is just freaking stunning. Yeah. The moon in Dubai was just like the perfect like crescent. Number 8 on the list is how easy it is to bargain your price. Like, you don't have to buy the price that is listed. You can haggle. So I missed that. Not that I ever really did it because I don't have the experience, but I did it a couple times. It was cool. But yeah, I missed that option and not having taxes on it. I mean, there are taxes now. They're not as high as they are in Canada, but yeah, you're not getting taxed left, right, and center. That's a I remember I was selling Mike's TV and I was doing my first like haggling or whatever. Here we do it with Kijiji, but that was where I was comfortable with it. Like, you can go into a retail store and argue prices, so yeah, or get some deals or something, literally on anything. But yeah, I miss that. Always being able to argue the price. And I mentioned in one of the earlier points, I mentioned that I would get delivery. That's what I miss. I mean, it's kind of like a privilege, and nowadays with COVID, it's totally a thing. With like voila, people send you your groceries, you just order them and they bring it to you. But like a year ago, I bet nobody here would be like, what? Like a year ago, you wouldn't even expect to be able to do something like this here in Canada. I mean, at least I didn't know about it. You go and get your own goddamn groceries. But in Dubai, you can order up anything. If you just want a coffee, they can bring it up to your room. If you need someone to turn off your light switch in your bedroom because you're too lazy to go do it, you can write a note being like, just come in and turn the light switch off. Just kidding, but you probably can. So I miss that there was always a person for something. Like, I was talking to one guy flying back to Canada, and he was like, yeah, like, he was between Canada and Dubai. He's like, in Dubai, you can get someone to, like, wash your car for you. They come to your house and wash your car. Do, like, yard work. Okay, wait, you can do that here, too. But it's, like, for pennies there. You don't pay much. It's, like, so easy. It's not, like, a Hollywood status kind of ordeal. So, yeah. Anyway, I miss that. I miss just being like, okay, well, I don't want to go downstairs and pick up 4 cases of bottled water because you can't drink from the tap because it's all chlorinated and you'll go bald and you'll die from like toxicity. So I think I'm gonna leave it to 8. I think those are the 8 things that I personally am missing from my life here in Canada. I can live without the like delivery stuff because it did always feel so strange to rely on someone and not do it yourself. I love doing this stuff myself. Like, I don't want someone to pick up bread for me and then deliver it to me and it comes out moldy, which it did most times. They never picked the right thing. But so again, it's not a video where I'm talking about the obvious, like, oh, it's so cold in Canada for like 9 months of the year, but the summers are like freaking beautiful and probably even hotter than in Dubai. No, it's not. But you get burned more here than in Dubai for sure, because in Dubai you have a smoke screen of all the smog and fog and pollution, and I think that's what I meant by smog. So the rays don't penetrate through, but here in Canada it's more open space and clear, so yeah, you get pretty sunburned out here. It was mainly little things that I've discussed with these people that I've met here in Canada that had lived longer than I have in Dubai, and it's actually going to bring me to a closing story. The guy at the grocery store, he's like, yeah, it's very different here in Canada. Like, his family friends that like show him around and wanted to impress him with Canada, he was like, it's not as like impressive as it is in Dubai. Like, he's like, they took me to Square One, and I'm like, yeah, I brought Michael to Square One, and he doesn't like the mall either. He's like, Dubai Mall is so much nicer. So it's like things like that. But I really do think that to see Canada for its beauty and what it really brings and what I miss and what it offers and whatever, it's the camping. Like, nature in Canada is so beautiful, and I am a camping girl. Been doing it since I was little, 3 times a year or more. Like, you won't enjoy Canada unless you go camping. So I hope my video prepares whoever's moving here for the little things that we'll be missing. I mean, COVID's a good time. You'll still have your delivery of anything you need. And I'm sure you can find some connections to get basic day-to-day things done around the house. Not sure if it'll be cheap, but you'll have those options for sure. That's why I didn't mention the Dubai, like the beach in Dubai, having access to that, because we have that here too. It's just a lake, and it's a bit colder. It's not soup water. And I go to the lake as much as I would go to the beach in Dubai. Rarely. Not a beach girl. Oh yeah, those were 8 things that are missing from my life that I've noticed in the past year. Canada's missing and Dubai has, and I will forever ever miss those things about Dubai. Can't wait to see you guys in the new year.